Good morning, Tambo.
Jambo mwalimu.
Omondi, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we can continue. Let the other students join us along the way. So today we are going to discuss about written communication. This exactly, or this part of our discussion today. We are going to talk about written communication. And earlier on, we say that communication is the conveyance or the passing of information from one person to another person or from one place. And we have various ways, but for today we are going to discuss about written communication. And in written communication, it is all about transmission of messages by writing or through writing. And it is always the most formal way in which we can pass information, because one of the uses of communication is the written, and for this case, if it is in a written form, then it will be easy for us to have records of them, and at the same time to reply in future. And we have different ways in which written communication can be done. So the first one is letters. And in this case, I could say that letters are the commonest method or means in which can be used in passing written communication. A good example or the types of letters or the categories of letters are always in two. That is formal letters and informal letters. So for the formal letters, they are always the official way in which we can pass information, or they always comprises of the business letters. And informal letters are the one that we can write between our friends or even relatives. So letters is one of the written way in which you can pass information. We also have telegrams, and this is the communication through the post office, whereby the sender obtains the telegram form from the post office and puts the message on it, and always in capital letters, and hand it over the post office employees at the counter. So at the end of the day, the information will a long time ago. Nowadays, they've been not because of the improvement in technology. This involves the transmission of information through a fax machine. And in this case, the sender and the receiver must be having the fax machine, or else communication will not be as successful. We also have memorandum or the memo, and this is the printed information that can be used just to convey the internal information concerning an organization. Like always, if students of Chip College are supposed to be given information, they can either receive it via memorandum or a memo, a notice, and so forth. We also have a notice. This is a written communication used to inform a group of public about past or current future events. If you're going to resume before,
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
yes. Amondi, what are you saying?
We can't hear you anymore.
But you're hearing me right now.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Tambo,
Yes.
are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay. So I was talking about you can mute,
Yes.
So I was talking about a report, and in this case, these are always the statements or records of findings and the recommendation together with the conclusion of an investigation. Maybe you are doing a research on something. By the end of the day, you must have to give a detailed information concerning that kind of research in form of the findings, the recommendations, and also the conclusion of that kind of research. So it is also one way. And these are always the written letters addressed to very many people. And in this case, if for this case you want people to get information at the same time, then a circular is the most preferred way in which you can pass the information. We also have the agenda, and the agenda is always the item to be discussed in a meeting. So it can be some to the people who are going to participate in that meeting prior or at the start of that meeting. Say that you will now be in a position to understand exactly what is going to take place during that meeting. Now, an agenda should always contain the following: date of the meeting, the venue of the meeting, time of the meeting, and also items to discuss. It is always very important because if you're not able to do so, then it will be very difficult to see you convening that meeting. We also have minutes, and minutes are always the protein of a meeting. So it is always very important that whenever a meeting is taking place, someone is down minutes or writing minutes, because this always a legal requirement for each and every company. Because rest of the company, they're always meeting, and when the meetings are there, you must have to write the minutes of that meeting, because it is a legal requirement, is always required by the government, that whenever a company or an operation is is doing its own activities, then it must be doing anything that is always acceptable. So those are the types or ways in which you can pass information in writing. We have also the advantages of written form. It can be written for future. A notice, and also maybe this person did not act as per the notice. Then in this case, if it is a legal suit, in this case you'll have to use it in future as referring to what happened in the past. The other thing is, it is always very cheaper when it comes to reproducing maybe copies, and more so, let's say, as you can use to serve many people, or you can just write a notice that is going to convey the information to many people within a very short time. It is also suitable for confidential messages allows for inclusion of finer details, because if you just having communication, it is not the same as now having written down that kind of information that I was passing or you are passing. That is, it is not prone to distortion of messages. So what is written is the receiver of the message, not as whereby to pass it to the person. On reaching the other end, I will have now have a different version of the same information just to suit my own intention. So using written ways of passing information, then it is always advantageous because you cannot have an information being distorted. Another thing is can be addressed to many people that is within a very short time. So having also advantages, written communication is also having some kind of setback. That is now the disadvantages of written communication. One is lack person. You cannot convince the other person to understand the message the way he or she understands. Or if for this case, there is need to have an immediate feedback, then this person is not going to receive that feedback immediately. Another thing is it takes time to prepare and reach the recipient. There is always a process. So before even having the information itself and sending, it will have taken much of your time. The other thing is suitable for the literate only. So if someone has not gone to school or the person is not able to read and write, then you cannot use urgent communication to pass information. Immediate feedback may not be possible, so you can write that today and maybe receive that later, maybe after a month. If you wanted the information immediately, then it should not be possible for in this case. The other thing is does not overrule for persuasion and convincing, because immediately after written what you can, it is just that the person to read and interpret the way he or she wants. And therefore, you cannot persuade or accept information or message the way you are conveyed. The other thing is it because a lot of people so you need time to prepare, and also you need papers maybe to have the print out or just to write on those papers. The other thing is not suitable if the sender and the receiver do not share common language. So for us to have text information by a document, language free, or it will be very difficult for us to understand. So that's all about written communication. We can also see briefly visual communication. And in visual communication, it is the passing of information by use of diagrams, drawings, picture signs, and gestures. And it comprises of photographs, signs, graphs, and charts. So for us now to pass information by this kind of is read that communication used to potentially and Teddy, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear it.
Tambo?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I've seen a text that you've written. Can you just tell us? Just say it.
Can you say visual communication is the passing of information by sight?
By
By use of sight.
okay, in this case, you must be seeing for us to say that we are passing information not in a way that we can write, but we can just see. Is that okay? Sambo,
It's okay. It isn't.
are you okay now?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay, then we have disadvantages of visual communication can only be used by people who can see. That is what I was saying earlier on that you must only be seeing, not necessarily hearing what you are seeing, for us to have this information passed to you successfully. Then the information may be wrongly interpreted. Like, for example, you're using a case, there those may be calling someone or telling someone to go. So at times it is interpreted in a different way. Then it may be an expensive method of communication, and lastly cannot be used for long distances. So in this case, it should just be within the reach of the people there. Then we also are supposed to understand about audiovisual communication. So this is having now two ways. There is a sound and there is also the sight in this case. So you must be in a position to listen, and at the same time, you must also be in a position to see. Like, or before that, I could say that this is a form of communication in which messages are sent through sounds and signs. This form of communication ensures that the receiver gets the message instantly. And in this case, it is suitable where sender and the receiver know the meaning of specific sounds and also signs. We have various means of audio-visual communication. We have television, we have siren, among others. So in this case, we can be in a position to see and at the same time to listen to exactly what is happening. A good example is a TV. So you can watch what is happening and at the same time what the person is saying. Advantages of visual audio-visual communication. One, it reaches many people. Number two, it's more appealing than other means of communication, like watching a TV and also listening to a radio. The most important one, or the one that can have a lot of appeal, is a TV because you can see at the same time you can listen. We also have reinforces verbal communication. Number four, may have a lasting effect on the receiver. So you can have that impression for a very long time because you've seen at the same time you've heard what the person is talking about.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
You've said TV. What about radio? Because I think radio is audiovisual apart from TV.
Okay. There is a big difference there because we are having two in one. That is audio and visual. Are we together?
Yeah.
Because for radio you can only have the audio.
Yes.
Have you ever seen someone via the radio?
No.
Yeah, that is why I'm saying it is audio-visual, not audio alone. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, because the next thing that you're going to see is audio communication. So let's finish this and see now the audio communication. So also need to understand that the other benefit of audio-visual communication is suitable where the receivers are illiterate. So in this case, you can only see, and at the same time you can hear. So even if you're not hearing exactly what is being said, but you can easily hear and you can still see. We also have the disadvantages of audio-visual communication. It is suitable to those people who can interpret the messages correctly, meaning the person who cannot interpret the message correctly can be having some kind of challenges, because I've already said that suitable where receivers are illiterate. So you can see, you can listen, but you cannot understand what is being said. It is not suitable for confidential messages. And lastly, preparation may take long, because you must have to ensure that the motions and the audio are all in a whole captured at the same time. Then now, apart from the audio visual communication, we also need to understand about audio communication. And this is when the message is transmitted through sound. So a good example is now the radio that one of you was talking about. We have a whistle, we have on, and the rest. So let me hope that we can now differentiate between audio-visual communication and audio communication. Omondi.
Yes, yes. And the difference between the two is, for the audio, it is basically the sound.
Yes.
Then for the audiovisual, like the TV, you can
Yes.
you can see the two. I mean, you can hear the sound and you can still see the picture.
Yeah, that is now. Yeah.
The audio.
I hope now we've answered the question that one of you had raised.
Yes.
That a radio is audio and visual. So in this case, radio is audio because you can only listen to the sound. Then we have the advantages of audio communication. It's a faster method of communication. It can reach several people at once, and the message is received with their frequencies cannot reach everywhere. Similar case maybe to the maybe local places where we come from. We have those local radio stations whereby their frequencies can only cover a certain area or a certain radius, but just a certain distance. Then it distracts people's attention. So apart from now seeing the audio communication, we can also see the factors to consider when choosing means of communication. So means is just the same as the media in which you can pass the information. So we have said how fast is this media or the medium we are using in terms of now conveying the message to the recipient, the cost. Is it expensive in terms of the message that we are sending, or is it cheaper? So in most cases, you also need to consider the cost. We have the confidentiality of the message. Now, the media that you've chosen, is it going to give a confidential information, or is it going to convey the information to the people that cannot have received the same? We have the distance, we have evidence, we have reliability, we have accuracy, we have desired impression, and we have availability. So it is always very important that whenever we are choosing a media of passing the information, we consider these 9 factors. Then the last thing that you're supposed to discuss, because I'm thinking our time is almost ending, is barriers to effective communication. Tambo and
Yes.
Omondi.
Yes.
I'm thinking our time is almost ending, meaning even if that's what I wanted to start, we are not able to finish.
What about the bundles?
For that point for now, but keep on watching. Tambo,
Yes.
what are you saying?
Nothing. I'm okay.
Or was Omondi who was talking about bundles?
Yes. What
No.
about bundles, by the way?
Not really, not on my end.
Which bundles, Omondi?
Me, I've not communicated about anything. It's not me.
Probably. Okay. Okay. Let me say this: that the bundles that maybe you were supposed to receive. Remember, you are supposed to buy them for 500 shillings for 10 GB. And in this case, remember those bundles cannot be used in accessing Zoom, but you can only use to access classes online. Is that okay?
I'm not even aware who asked that question.
Okay, we'll chat by WhatsApp. It will be very simple for me to say what you could easily understand.
Oh, okay, no problem.
So okay, let me understand something here. There is Teddy Omondi and there is Pinto Omondi. Ama hawa ni watu wawili?
Yes, two
Are these
different
two
people,
people?
Mwalimu. Yes, two different people.
So who is Pinto and who is Teddy?
Teddy is the one speaking.
Yes, Teddy. Okay, with time we are going to know each other better. So let's stop at this point for now.